Pain is life's most relentless but honest teacher. It doesn't whisper, it roars. It shows up when you lose something, when someone betrays you, when you fail even after giving everything you had. Most people spend their lives trying to escape pain, to numb it, to run from it. But the truth is, pain is not the enemy. It's the signal. It's life grabbing you by the shoulders saying, wake up. There's something here you need to see. Every major breakthrough in life begins with a moment of deep discomfort. Think about it. Growth never happens in your comfort zone. You don't evolve when everything's easy. You evolve when you're stretched, challenged, and forced to look at who you are and who you could be. The lesson repeats itself until you finally decide to listen. The relationship that keeps breaking down, the dream that keeps slipping away, the same frustration over and over again. That's not coincidence, that's curriculum. When you stop asking, why is this happening to me? And start asking, what is this trying to teach me? Your entire world shifts. Pain becomes purpose. Struggle turns into strength. The wound becomes wisdom. You begin to see that every hardship you've endured was not there to destroy you. It was there to prepare you. And once you embrace that truth, pain no longer controls you. It refines you. It becomes the fire that forges your power, your clarity, and your unstoppable will to grow. Most people believe the reason they haven't achieved what they want is because they lack something. Time, money, education, support, or connections. But that's a lie we tell ourselves to feel safe. You're not missing resources. You're missing resourcefulness. Every person who has ever changed their life started with less than they needed, but they found something greater inside themselves. Creativity, persistence, drive, faith, those inner muscles build empires. Think about it. History's greatest innovators didn't wait for perfect conditions. They created them. They used what they had, and they stretched it. When the Wright brothers dreamed of flight, they didn't have an aerospace degree or millions in funding. They had a bicycle shop, curiosity, and a refusal to give up. When they failed, they learned. When they were mocked, they adjusted. Resourcefulness isn't about what's in your hands. It's about what's in your heart and mind. When you're resourceful, you stop seeing problems and start seeing possibilities. You stop asking, can I? And start asking, how can I? That tiny shift opens the door to a different world. Because if you can tap into emotion, hunger, determination, love, passion, you'll find energy you never knew existed. Emotion is the ultimate resource. It's what drives you to make the call, take the risk, stay up another hour, and keep pushing when everyone else quits. The truth is, we all have moments when it feels like we're stuck. The money's not there, the opportunity's not there, the people we counted on didn't show up. But those moments are tests. Life is asking, how badly do you want this? It's not rejecting you, it's refining you. Every obstacle is a chance to prove your resourcefulness, to dig deeper, to find a way where there seems to be none. The person who is resourceful doesn't wait for inspiration. They generate it. They don't wait for confidence. They create it by taking action, even when they're scared. They use every experience as fuel. That's how ordinary people do extraordinary things. So stop focusing on what you don't have. Look around, look within. You already have everything you need to take the next step. The real question isn't whether you can, it's whether you will. Change often looks like it happens in an instant, one decision, one moment, one breakthrough that turns everything around. But the truth is, that moment is never the beginning, it's the culmination. What looks like an overnight transformation is really the result of years of preparation, struggle, mistakes, and quiet persistence that no one ever sees. Every person who has transformed their life can point to a single instant when everything shifted. A moment of truth, a realization, a decision that changed their direction. But what they don't tell you is all the invisible work that came before that moment. The long nights of doubt, the years of trying and failing, the lessons learned through pain and perseverance. Those moments built the foundation for the change that finally showed up. It's like planting a seed. You water it, care for it, and for weeks or months you see nothing. But beneath the soil, growth is happening, roots are forming, strength is building. Then one day, that tiny sprout breaks through the surface, and everyone calls it a miracle. It's not a miracle. It's the result of consistent effort and patience that finally met its moment. Change doesn't take years. Preparation does. Change happens the instant you make a decision, a real one, not just a wish or a hope. It's when you finally draw the line and say, enough. I'm done living this way. That's the power of a moment. But you can only make that kind of decision when your preparation has made you ready for it. So don't get discouraged when you don't see results yet. Every effort counts. Every lesson matters. Every time you choose discipline over comfort, growth over ease, you're building momentum toward your moment of change. You may not see it now, but it's coming. And when it does, it will feel sudden, but you'll know it wasn't luck. It was years of preparation meeting a single moment of courage. Remember, life rewards the prepared. The time you spend learning, failing, refining, and growing, that's not wasted time. That's your foundation. because when your moment comes, you won't need to get ready. You'll be ready, and that's when transformation happens in one powerful, irreversible decision born out of years of invisible work. Emotion is the driving force behind everything we do. It's the invisible current that powers every action, decision, and connection in our lives. You can have the best plan, the most brilliant strategy, the right people around you, but if your emotional state is weak, nothing will move. On the other hand, when your emotions are strong, passionate, and aligned, you can overcome almost anything. Emotion is energy in motion. It's what gives life meaning and movement. Think about it. People don't buy products. They buy feelings. They don't fall in love with logic. They fall in love with emotion. Every breakthrough, every act of courage, every moment of greatness begins with a surge of emotion, whether it's love, determination, gratitude, or even frustration. When you harness emotion, you tap into an unstoppable source of power. Most people, though, let emotions control them instead of learning to direct them. They wake up tired, unmotivated, anxious, and they let that state dictate their day. But emotions are not random, they are patterns. And patterns can be changed. When you shift your physiology, your focus, or your language, you can instantly shift your emotional state. That means you can generate passion, joy, and confidence on demand. You don't have to wait for inspiration. You can create it. Your emotions determine your destiny because they shape your decisions. A single emotion can alter your path. Fear can stop you, while courage can launch you forward. Gratitude can heal a lifetime of pain, and anger, when directed with purpose, can ignite massive change. The quality of your life is not measured by what you have, but by how you feel every day. Master your emotions, and you master your life. That doesn't mean you ignore pain or pretend to be happy all the time. It means you take ownership of your emotional energy. You choose what to amplify and what to release. You learn to use emotion as fuel instead of letting it burn you out. When you live with emotional mastery, you become unstoppable. You wake up each day knowing that your power doesn't come from outside circumstances, it comes from within. And once you learn to direct that energy, you don't just survive life, you create it, shape it, and lead it with passion, purpose, and unshakable drive. Emotion isn't just part of life, it is life, success. It's one of the most loaded words in our language. We spend our entire lives chasing it, shaping our days around it, sacrificing for it. We're told from a young age that if we just work hard enough, make enough money, build a name, or achieve that next goal, we'll finally make it. But how many people actually get there only to find themselves feeling empty, restless, or disconnected? Because here's the truth most people don't realize until it's too late. Success without fulfillment is the ultimate failure. You can build the empire, drive the car, own the home, wear the watch, and still wake up every morning feeling like something is missing. The reason? Because external success can never fill an internal void. We've been conditioned to measure achievement by results, titles, numbers, status. But true success has less to do with what you get and everything to do with what you give, who you become, and how aligned you feel with your purpose. I've met people who had nothing, no wealth, no fame, no security, and yet they radiated joy. And I've met others who had everything money could buy but felt trapped in their own lives. The difference isn't circumstance, it's fulfillment. Fulfillment is what happens when your heart, your actions, and your values are aligned. It's the peace that comes from knowing that what you're doing matters beyond yourself. The truth is, fulfillment doesn't show up after success. It must be built into your definition of success. If your only focus is achievement, you'll always be chasing. Because no matter how high you climb, there's always another mountain, another target, another person doing better. But when you connect your success to growth and contribution, something changes. You stop running from emptiness and start running toward purpose. Fulfillment comes from progress, not perfection. It's in the moments when you stretch beyond what you thought you were capable of, when you push past fear, when you use your pain to help someone else. It's in those quiet moments when you realize your life is not just about what you've accumulated, but about what you've activated in yourself and in others. Ask yourself, what's the point of winning if you lose yourself in the process? What's the point of building wealth if it costs you your peace, your health, or your relationships? Success without fulfillment feels like climbing a ladder only to discover it's leaning against the wrong wall. Fulfillment doesn't require perfection or luxury. It requires meaning. It's found in gratitude and growth. In giving, it's that deep sense of satisfaction that comes from living authentically, knowing you are being who you were meant to be. So, redefine success for yourself. Don't make it about applause, comparison, or accumulation. Make it about alignment. Make it about waking up excited to live your day, knowing that what you do contributes to something larger than you. When you build success on the foundation of fulfillment, you don't just achieve, you become. You don't just reach goals, you create impact. Because at the end of the day, success without fulfillment is like a beautiful meal with no flavor. It looks good on the outside, but leaves you empty inside. True success feeds your soul. It fuels your purpose. It's not about how much you have, it's about how deeply you live. Every person on this planet is living a story. It's not just the story we tell others. It's the one we tell ourselves silently every single day. That story shapes how we see the world, how we act, and what we believe we're capable of. It determines how high we rise or how long we stay stuck. The truth is simple but powerful. Your story can either trap you or free you. Most people don't even realize they're trapped by their story. They think their circumstances define them. They say things like, that's just who I am, or that's just the way life is. But those aren't facts. They're beliefs built from experiences, disappointments, and interpretations of the past. Somewhere along the way, they picked up a story that told them they weren't enough, or that success was for other people, or that their pain was permanent. And without realizing it, they started living as if that story were true. The mind is a master storyteller. It constantly looks for patterns and meanings to make sense of our experiences. The problem is, when something painful happens, a failure, a rejection, a loss, we often assign it a meaning that limits us. We say, I failed, so I'm a failure. Or, they left me, so I must not be worthy of love. And that single interpretation becomes the script for the rest of our lives. But the truth is, your past does not define you unless you choose to keep rereading the same chapter. Every day, life gives you the chance to rewrite your story. The moment you decide to change the meaning of your past, you begin to change your future. The story of pain can become a story of strength. The story of rejection can become a story of resilience. The story of failure can become a story of wisdom. You can't change what happened, but you can always change the meaning you give it, and that meaning will shape who you become. Look at the people who inspire you most. They all went through something: loss, heartbreak, struggle, rejection, but they made a choice. They decided that their story would not end in suffering. They turned their pain into purpose, their weakness into wisdom, their struggle into service. That's what freedom looks like. Freedom doesn't mean escaping your past. It means using it as fuel for your growth. When you hold on to a story that limits you, it's like living in a cage where the door is wide open. You could walk out anytime, but fear convinces you to stay. It tells you this is who you are, and because you've believed it for so long, it feels safe even if it's painful. But the moment you realize you are the author, not the prisoner, everything changes. You stop being a victim of your story and start being the creator of it. Rewriting your story begins with honesty. You have to face the narratives you've been repeating about your worth, your abilities, your potential, and question them. Who told you that you couldn't? Who decided that your best days were behind you? Those are just voices from the past, echoes of fear, not the truth. The real truth is that your story is still being written, and every day you have the pen in your hand. You can choose a new identity. You can choose a story of growth, of possibility, of strength. And when you do, everything in your life starts to align with that new version of you. Your confidence grows. Your actions change. You begin to attract opportunities that match the energy of your new story. That's not luck. That's transformation. So ask yourself right now, what story have I been living? And more importantly, what story do I want to live next? Because the future is not written yet. You can let the past define you, or you can use it to refine you. You can stay trapped in the story of limitation, or you can step into the story of power, purpose, and freedom. Remember, your story isn't finished. It's just waiting for a new author. And that author is you.